All right, YouTube says we're live, so welcome to Worldwide Slot Car Chat on Zoom, number 295. I'm your host, Greg Gabb. The gang's all here with Tony and Mike and Dennis and Jeremy and John and Dewan and Don and Rob and Dale and
Chris.
Chris is here. Excellent. So we'll have a great show, I'm sure. So as per usual, we'll start with show and tell. So if you have anything you want to show and tell, new car, new project you're working on, anything slot car related, that's just say, here's this thing. This is the time to raise your hand or wave your hand or whatever. All right, Mr. Weber's got something he wants to share. Go ahead, John. You're still muted. John, you're muted. John, you're muted. John, you're muted.
Okay. Thank you
There you
very much.
Yep.
Yeah, recent acquisition. This is a slot car made by a company called Gamma, G-A-M-A. I think, yeah, West Germany. It's a Matra M530, I believe is what it is. 530, yeah. And it was one of the progenitors of the Matras, like the ones, what, 650, 670,
60, 670.
Yeah, that Slottits made the really neat models of. And I think it was there were, I believe, 3-liter, 2-liter, 3-liter, 12-cylinder engines, but the guide flag rotates 360 degrees freely, more or less freely, and it has these little spring-loaded things, sort of brushes or contacts, sort of like an AFS or an Aurora HO car kind of.
Yeah.
Is what got a humongous motor for a 132nd car. It looks to be really beefy, big sidewinder. I think it's from about it was made about 1972, maybe 70, 72, something like that. And they made another model. It's a Dubonnet. It's a DB, I believe, or one of those tiny little things that were always going for the index of performance with teeny tiny cars and motors. And they were fairly successful, but this is not that. So anyway.
They had a Carrera, a Porsche 906 as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I've seen that. It's not a bad looking model. This one is really pretty close to the proportions of the McCoy, as you can. That is a 1/18th scale photo of a 1/18th scale model that's in the background there, and this is pretty close.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's not bad. It's something really kind of different. So,
have you run it?
Excuse me?
Have you run it yet?
I have not. No. Okay. No, I haven't even tested it, but that'll come. That's all I have, unless there are any questions.
Well, I'm curious about the contacts. Is there some kind of like AC2 car feature with that system, or is it just a straight up DC system?
Let's see here.
I think it's probably just straight up DC, so it'll run in both directions on the track.
Okay, so
pick it up, turn the guide 180, put it down again, run the other way.
Fellow from Holland or France or Germany, I'm not sure which, I couldn't really tell from his name, has a YouTube video of one of these. He's running. He sort of restored it and got it to run, and he's running it, and he gets it to do the 360s the way you might.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a drifter as well. Okay.
Yeah, that's Frank Peter Van de Goor.
Was it?
Oh,
yep.
Yeah. Sure.
Yep.
Hmm.
I'm looking on Slot Forum now, and they had a Ferrari 250 GTO as well.
Ah, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'd never heard of the company. And I said, Gamma, is that the same as the Spanish company GOM? No, not quite.
No,
So
no.
anyway, it's quite different, obviously.
It was a
The
toy factory
tires
in Germany. Yeah.
the tires are like hard and waxy. Have to replace those almost immediately. But otherwise, it looks complete. Nothing's broken.
Well, remember, it was made before the wall fell.
Yeah, in West Germany,
Yeah.
Exactly.
not
Yeah.
East Germany.
If it was made in East Germany, we'd made of like, wood or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
Recycled
phenolic resin.
Yeah, it would be something that made a lot of smoke and a lot of noise and didn't actually go very fast.
Oh,
Oily,
right.
black,
Compressed
oily
paper is
smoke.
like a Trabant slot car. Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
somebody makes one of those.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
I think.
Well, yeah, it actually goes better than the real car.
Yeah, no doubt.
Is it Carrera made some Trabants for a while? Anyway,
I think
No,
it's Revell.
Revell monogram, I think.
Revell. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's an entry on Slot Forum that says the company Gamma, GAMA, stands for Georg and Adam, G&A, Mangold, Mangold. It was a toy factory in Farth, Deutschland, that did slots. So these cars were around about 1966. They ran
Oh,
between
really?
1966 and 1978.
So my chronology's a bit off. That's not unusual. So anyway,
And they made a couple of others. They made a Can-Am McLaren and the Matra that you have.
mhm.
And then somebody saying they also made Formula cars that were a bit too big and looked like toys because they carried big spoilers.
Oh,
But there's no photos of those. Anyway, interesting.
good. Thank you. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
very interesting.
Good to
All
know.
right, thanks, John. And Dewan, what you got?
Okay. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, good. An old man's trash is a new man's treasure. Well, not quite. Anyway, um, I used to frequent member Frank Sisto. He was posting some cars that he was trying to sell off on quite a few of the different Facebook state channels and things like that. And I took an interest in them and acquired about 5 of these different vintage open wheelers. I just opened this very first box right here. I didn't want to waste the time and going through the bubble wrap. Only the first one, but the other ones I have not opened. I'm just now in the process of opening them.
They 30-second scale, the one?
Yes, 30-second scale.
Ooh, I'm
But
jealous.
yeah, so that's that one. This is another one. And they really match up well as far as
Yeah. Both Bugatti
yes.
59C or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
I
Type
can't
59.
get my fingers out of the way here. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 2 of them.
Cool.
And obviously I'm gonna do a little I like doing an IROC type thing, so I have one in each lane and have a little competition, things like that whenever I have a gathering. Let's see what I have here. Again, just now unveiling these, so I
Live
got them over the
unboxing.
weekend.
Ooh,
Ooh, yep.
that is
Oops,
not
get in front of
good.
me.
Yeah. That's a
On Audi.
Auto Union.
D-type, I think.
And they're very good condition and freshly braided.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm very, very, very excited to say the least. That's 3 of the 5.
I bought something from Frank a couple of years ago, and it was nice. I mean, it was
Yeah, he's a good
top
modeler. He
notch.
really is. He's done
Yeah.
a lot of restorations. I'm very, very, very happy with what I've gotten here. That's why I jumped on it. I knew what caliber stuff he's done in the past. And
Another
it's
auto
another.
union.
No, that one's a C type, I think.
Yeah, they had the big
Auto
yeah,
unions.
a B or a C. C, I think.
the front
The
wheels. The steering turns with the flag.
is that an Airfix or is that a Scale Extra?
No, these are pink car.
Pink
Pink
car.
car.
Ah,
Oh,
okay.
Cool.
Pink
Yeah,
car.
so they're a little more modern. As I know, Scale Electric had, or Airfix had one of those back in the day.
Yeah, so this is the coming this pink car.
Yeah, the boxes look new, don't they? Look brand new.
Yeah,
So yeah, I don't.
you're gonna have to excuse me for a moment.
This is so it's four of these.
Oh yeah.
I'm loving it. Thank you, Frank, if you're out there watching. Yeah, that's the rear.
Nice.
Bugatti Top 59 Grand Prix.
I think if I recall that they made a bunch of them in all different colors.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think some of them even came in collector boxes, didn't they? With like a little cloth for.
That was Cartrix that did that.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Yeah, sorry.
Well, this one has a little pamphlet that talks
the-
about the different models they have.
The Cartrix came in a little tin box, I believe.
Yes,
Yeah, I
this
have
one
a
has
few of them with a little cloth and
Yeah, tin
Those-
plate with the print on it, and
Yep.
yeah, cloth and
This is showing a little parts list as well as different models that are available from the same manufacturer. So yeah, kind of nice to have, nice to know.
Yep.
But it's gonna go well with my vintage stuff. I'm a old fashioned kind of guy.
Very cool.
That's what I have
Thanks
for
for
now.
sharing. Mr. Kit, you put your hand down. Did you decide not to? You're muted, so
No, I've got it right here.
there we go. Okay, go ahead.
So I remember I was talking about this kit. I finally got two.
yeah,
Um,
Buick.
That's
Yeah, it's
awesome.
actually, yeah, they're really cool. However, I guess they had a problem with part of the molds when they were repopping them because I don't know if you can see this, but the grill is actually from the custom kit, not from the stock 56 kit. And let me just show you the difference here. So just happen to
Wow.
have a vintage Buick here, and I don't know if you can see the difference in the front grill.
the chrome is too shiny.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, it's sort of got like that's really too shiny. Let me just see. Okay, sorry. Want to pull it back a little bit? Would that be better?
No,
Okay, hang on. Let me just turn my light down here. Maybe that'll help. Let's see. Does that help?
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you
So
said
you
it's
see,
total different. Yeah.
yeah, totally different, right? So the good news is because I have an original kit, I'm hoping to now remove the bumper carefully, take off and Revell never had very good chrome, and then repop it. But all the other pieces are there. So
Cool.
yeah, it's very, very cool. And of course, it's a multi-piece. Let me just open this up for you folks. It's a multi-piece body. Let me just show you the grill. See, there's the grill, the fending grill. I haven't even taken it out of the plastic yet. So that's the custom grill, because they reissued these kits actually back in the day as custom kits to, I guess, keep the molds going. But if you're familiar with these absolutely lovely multi-piece bodies, it's going to be a bit of a challenge to make into a slot car and paint because, according to the instructions, you build the body around the chassis and then paint it with a brush. It was the 50s, I guess. The other cool thing though is, and this is most important, I don't know if you can see that, but they actually made glass for it. So again, just as I did with for the Cadillac that they brought out last year, I plan to make a mold of the glass so I can actually have glass for the vintage one as well, and get some 50s cars going around the track, because this is really cool. Like there's a 56 Buick. I'm working on a 56 F100. I actually just started stripping the 56 Plymouth Savoy. It's 1956 all over again.
Hey, John, this is Dale. Give me a pre-order for one of those grill bars when you make one.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, I'm actually, your stuff is cast, about to be packaged, and I'm just wrestling with the wonderful customs folks.
What stuff? I didn't order anything.
Oh, not you. No, sorry. I'm sorry. It's
You got the wrong guy.
I got the wrong guy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just got excited. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah, sure. No, the grill will be easy to do. Yeah, easy to do.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure he'd be happy for you to send him a box out of the blue.
Yeah, I can do that. Sure. No problem.
I'll take it. Don't
So
tell
I'm
me what
sorry.
it is. It'll be a grab bag. Surprise.
I didn't look at my screen's down here and my camera's up here, so it's my apologies. I'm sorry.
I forgive you.
Thank
Right.
you.
But don't do it
Anything else?
again.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right, all done, John?
All done. Thank you.
All right, anybody else got any show and tell? Hearing or seeing none, let's move on to Club Corner. And Wayne, should I give you a few minutes or should I wait until the end to give you the rest of the hour?
I'm muted, so we went racing. We went
Yep.
to Eindhoven to race at Suzuka, and it was a successful weekend for us. We won both of the races. There were two endurance races, one of 1,000 laps with slotted Group C cars. Gio and the international racing team qualified on pole position and won that race. Then on Sunday, we did the World Endurance Championship 6-hour endurance, and we had two hypercars in that category. One of them, the BMW that you've been seeing him show you his progress through the paint procedure, won the concours, and then lined up on pole position with the Cadillac of the sister team alongside on grid spot 2. The race went quite well for both teams, but unfortunately Gio's car had a problem which meant that it spent some time in the pits, and unfortunately that dropped it to 3rd position, which is where it eventually finished. The sister car, the Cadillac, however, went on and won the race from predominantly running in 2nd place for the whole thing until Gio's car had this problem. And yeah, it won by a margin of only 27 laps in the end. But it was a very close race for 2nd and 3rd place. And one of the GT cars actually snuck into 2nd, and that was Henry's H&B team.
Oh,
So
a
yeah,
good weekend for the Zoom boys.
yeah, very good weekend for the Zoom boys. Yeah, all three.
We need a team called the Zoom boys next time.
That's if they would actually race together. But yeah, that was our weekend. It was a tiring one, a long one, including the journeys there and back, but a successful one. But it has courted a little controversy, but we'll just wait and see how that plays.
You can read about the controversy on Slot Forum.
Oh dear. Okay.
A little bit of the controversy was that the rules did not specifically disallow people from being on multiple teams. So in this event, there were a couple of top drivers that were on more than one team.
Okay.
So that's probably going to that rule will probably be added at some point. But there were other issues. So if you really want to know about it, then go read the thread on Slot Forum. I'm sure we'll hear more about that later and from Geo, but let's give Mike a minute. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, I'll pardon my fingers, but come on. All right. Uh-oh, there we are. Did I get both of them? Yes. Okay, it was just Joel and me for the first race, and we raced Spirit 936 Porsches. I had the long tail version that's a little smoother in the front end, and I took that race fairly easily. I took the number 12 as a slower car of the two, and oops, oh, come on, there we go. So I beat him by 4 laps, not a lot, but I did manage to get him. And then the second race, Ellen came by, and she and Joel had a big fight all the way through the race. And in the first 7 laps, Joel collected me, and she was in the lead for about 4 laps. So that was pretty cool. I haven't got the videos up yet, but it was interesting there. And I took the car of the 3 cars that was the toughest to drive, and I had a fair amount of issues, let's say, especially as the room warmed up. I got a little bit too much traction. I had to be really, really careful. But it was a good race nonetheless, and I finished a little better in that one. Beat him by 6. And Ellen's total of laps is pretty much a lie because she had trouble getting the fuel to work for some reason on the last one. So she lost 3 or 4 laps doing that. But she was right up there with Joel for most of the race, which was good to see. And she drove well. Interestingly enough, what I did with her is in the PC lap counter program, you can adjust the amount of percentage of voltage that you have. And I dropped it down to 80%. And I think that helped her a lot because she didn't have so much grunt and she was able to control a little better. So that worked out pretty well. So we had a good time. It was fun. So, okay.
So those Spirit cars, were they cockpitless to make room for the chip, or?
Yeah, they were cockpitless to make room for the chip, but I just haven't put the drivers in yet. I've still got the drivers there, and what I'll do is I'll just use a piece of card, and if John ever gets a chance to get me those drivers, the universal arms out drivers,
They're cast. They're cast. They're cast.
Oh, good.
Don't send them to me.
Yeah, well, I can use a whole bunch of them. So, yeah, when that happens, I'll put the drivers in and make them prettier. But they're surprisingly fun cars. They were not bad at all. I was pretty happy with the way they worked. So,
Yeah.
For a non-potted, and I know that potted cars are not necessarily the be all end all, but for a non-potted old time slot car, they work pretty well.
Yeah. I was just going to ask if those were, because I know Spirit made some potted cars. I was wondering if those were potted or not.
No, these were flat plastic and dead flat too. I was impressed.
Nice.
So I've changed the wheels, of course, because I can't abide bent wheels. There's something about it that just makes me nuts. So I usually put aftermarket wheels on those cars like that. And it was nice I ran those cars because I hadn't run them in a while, and I like to vary my racing on a weekly basis with different cars. So even the Le Mans cars that I had some of them were raced previously, but not in the same iteration. I try to avoid having the same cars over and over.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all. It was good.
All right, cool
Good day.
beans. Speaking of flat chassis and bent wheels, I raced my Mustang again on Monday with the guys. This is the Racer Sideways GT3 class, where I accidentally shrank and worsened the chassis that came with the car that was slightly warped. My process was ill-advised, and I made it worse. Have done everything I can. The guys even said, "Hey, let's let Greg do whatever he wants to his car, just because it's so completely outmatched by everybody else's car." And I'm like, I already have. I said, in all transparency, I drilled at the backside of the axle, front axle mounts, so that I could make sure that the front axle was pushed as far forward as possible to make room in the arches, because the whole chassis was, like a millimeter shorter than it's supposed to be. But in spite of all that, surprisingly, it ran pretty darn good on Blair's track, which is a wood track. But the previous week we had done, or 2 weeks ago, we had done Pat's track, which is also a wood track, both made by the same guy, so the quality of the track was more or less the same. But for whatever reason, my car was really liking Blair's track, and I was able to hold my own against most of the other guys. Mostly I was able to not necessarily pass them unless I was just a better driver than they were, but uh, not be so timid the whole time, right? It was much more stable on that track for whatever reason. So I was able to be a little bit more bold in the turns and into and out of the straights and all that jazz. So I actually landed in, I think, either second or third place for the night with 13 guys, which was another thing to mention. It's rare that we have 13 guys on one night. Usually it's 11 or 12 or 10 sometimes. But Blair's track is one of the ones where we get an extra guy, because Blair doesn't come to the other races. He just is at his own hosted races. And then all the other guys basically showed up. So we had 13 racers. So with 13 heats for IROC and then 39 heats for the series race, it was a long night. But things moved nice and efficiently. So I was actually home not too long after 10, which is my preference. But so it was a fairly good night. Had fun. Car did well. Next week will probably be the polar opposite of that, because we're back on plastic. But who knows? You never know. We'll see. I go to have fun. That's all that matters. Hopefully one day Racer Sideways decides to sell just the Mustang chassis, because I ain't buying a whole nother car just for the chassis. Dennis, you'll let me know. You're muted, by the way. I'm done, so go ahead and unmute yourself. And
Okay, you're talking about the new Mustang. The
GT3 Racer Sideways.
Okay.
Just
Oh
came
yeah,
out.
because no, I'm confused with the Capri, because the earlier Mustang just used the Capri chassis.
Yeah, not Group 5. Yeah, so
Yeah,
GT3.
not
So
the
all that's out
GT3.
is
Yeah,
the
not Group 5.
presentation livery
Excuse me.
and the white kit and presentation livery. That's
Yeah.
all that's out. So
Yeah,
can't get the chassis yet.
don't get old. It's not worth it.
So, Greg, one of the guys in our club, he melted this chassis. I don't know if you can see it.
Wait, hold on, let me spotlight it.
Well, okay. You can, well, you can kind of tell there's a little bit of a warping on it,
Yeah.
but it's American Car GT3. I don't know if that's the same as yours. I can see the stamping on the bottom. He thought that maybe Sideways had changed the formula for their plastic on their chassis. Does anybody know anything? Because I've been trying to research that, but I've flattened other Sideways cars without, I mean, just using the normal boil on the side process. But he said he went through his normal steps, and this is the first one he had that warped like that.
Interesting.
Okay, if yours says on the bottom American GT3, American Car GT3, that's all it says. It doesn't say Ford or anything.
I'll go check. Mine definitely doesn't say Ford Mustang. Hold it up again.
Made in China.
Exactly.
That does
They
look
get so
like
thin
it.
at the back there.
Well, I mean, you can't really see it. Well, maybe you can.
It looks like it's got a little banana going on.
It's got some deformities in the skin. I don't know. I don't know what his process of. He just showed it to me, and then I remember hearing you say it. I was going to compare if it was the same version or if it's just Sideways has changed something.
I'll go grab mine and take a look at it while Dennis
All
is
right.
doing it. Go
We
ahead, Dennis.
probably all know how long the Lamborghini from Sideways has been around, and a
Yeah.
friend of mine did the same process and screwed up one of them Lamborghini chassis a few years ago now. So I don't know that it's changed. I think that problem's been there for everyone for quite a while.
Are they
No.
aren't they making them in the same factory with slotted? Like I know they're not slotted cars, but I thought there was something with there was a tie-in somehow the two companies work together.
There
Dennis
was
might
at
know.
one stage when they used slotted gears and wheels, and I think they probably still do. But whether it all comes out the same factory, I don't.
I just wonder if the chassis comes from somewhere else because
Yeah.
it's definitely a different plastic. I just don't know how much different.
Yeah.
Did some Sideways cars have slotted motor pods in them as well?
Yeah.
No, they have provisions for them. The spacing is the same.
I get it.
So a lot of people, especially the people that run chips in them, will put in a slotted motor pod.
Yeah, my
to-
GT40, I flattened that one with no problem, and it runs perfect.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It definitely this newer plastic almost feels waxier, if that's a word. I don't know. It just
Yeah.
feels like it's got a different compound, maybe.
Yeah, I agree with you. It does look different from the other ones I just compared them to.
All right.
It's like more matted, and it feels a little bit harder, but that's just subjective.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to flatten mine yet. I don't.
Well, Dennis
Haven't
is
done
probably the
much
only one
work on
here
it.
who's ever going to get a chance to talk to somebody from Sideways.
Yeah.
So if you ever do talk to them, ask them.
Yeah, I'll try. Okay.
Thank you.
Can't you reach out via Facebook, Jeremy? They've got a Facebook
I've
presence.
reached out to them a dozen times. I'm a peon. They don't care about
Uh,
me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
Dennis is a big wig in our industry. He's going to get
I'm
results.
nothing of the sort.
Just Dennis, go with it. Just
Yeah.
All right. Let's let Dennis do his talk.
Oh, yeah. Well, first off, it's nice to be with you guys. I'm not in Electric Dreams today for the reason that I'm going in Friday this week. Instead, we have a new event coming up at the end of the month for which we are going to be putting a Scale Auto plastic track over the top of the 8-lane nylon track that's at the back of our building. Let me show you the pictures. Try that. Can you see that?
Yeah, and you are talking about the end of February.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the black section is the 6-lane track, and how it will sit over the top of the white of the black lines that define the actual track itself. Does that change for you? Do you see the photograph?
Yes.
Okay, so we've laid the plastic signboarding, yellow plastic signboarding down to insulate everything from underneath, and then we're going to put that track back on top of that. And I'm working out a system right now where we will be able to connect directly from the braids of the wooden track into the bottom of the rails of the plastic track, so that we can power the whole thing from the regular from the same power and same lap counting system that we use for the wood track. Just pull out 2 lanes in the Lapmaster lap counting software and run it like that. So drivers will hook up to the normal spot on the wood track and actually control their car on one of the 6 lanes of the plastic track. So that's on its way. That's all exciting. I would have been in there today, except that the big box of track that's come from Scale Auto, and I'm pretty sure it's a massive box of track when you look at that, because that track's what, 130 feet or so, and 6 lanes. It's a lot of plastic track. It got held up in customs, and we haven't got it yet, but it's on its way.
Can you give us a bit more detail about how you plan to get 8, I presume 8 lap counting devices?
No, just 6.
No, we're only going to
Sorry,
use
6.
6. We're going to use 6 of the lap counting devices
Yeah.
and connect them to the 6 lanes of the track.
Right.
So what we're going to
Using desk
do
group?
is to get the power onto the track, right? We are making a little adapter that is going to plug into the slot of a lane with 2 wires that will then connect into the bottom of the rail of that particular slot. And we're going to do that in 3 places around so that we get proper jumpers. Then where the lap counter is on the 8-lane track, which is, I don't know if you can see my my cursor moving,
Yes.
but it's
Yeah.
right in about here, just as you come out under the bridge and head up the hill into these big turns at the top here, top left. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make 3 pieces of track with dead strips, and then I'm going to make the same little adapter that connects from the dead strip of the lanes on the wood track to the dead strip of the lanes on the plastic track.
Yeah, I
And-
understand better now. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
And then on the Lapmaster program, there is a way that you can identify lanes as not being in use. So I will just take out the 2 lanes that we're not using. It makes it a little more difficult because it's lane number 4 and lane number 7 that we're not using. It's not like we're using the top 6 or the bottom 6 to get the colors right. The same as our lane stickers and the same as our lane rotations on the front track to keep it as intuitive for our racers as possible. We're going to we're going to leave out those 2 lanes. So that's the story there.
Well, hold on,
It should be quite fun.
hold on. It looks like the track is right up against the wall in some places, and it doesn't look like there's borders accounted for.
Would have to check that. I didn't do this layout, but I would think that we would be able probably to fix that in some places. As I say, we're going to lay it out. We're going to lay it out on Friday, and so we will get to that. But remembering this is scale auto track, so it's pretty wide already.
Yeah.
Can you go back to the picture you showed with the cardboard or whatever down on it?
Sure.
Is that what it is? Cardboard?
This one. It's not cardboard.
Oh, okay.
It's actually
Chipboard or
it's
something?
actually that. Say again.
Masonite or chipboard?
It's foam board, is it not?
It's like a foam board, but it's signboard because it basically it just has that like a honeycomb inside it. It's yellow
Right.
on both sides. Very light, only about a quarter of an inch thick.
It's not showing on your pictures, but that's okay.
You could probably see it kind of in the areas in the middle here under the lights where it's just
We're still looking
sitting
at
up.
the layout.
The layout right now is a little different to the layout that's underneath the track.
What I'm
Because
saying is we can't see the yellow signboard. We can only see the layout,
oh, you can't see that? Oh, I'm
the
sorry.
diagram.
I think
All right.
I think
Then-
if you
That's all
move
right.
your pointer to the other pic, there's 2 little icons at the bottom on the straight there. If you point it at point your pointer at the other one, it might show up in your window.
No. I will try something different. Hang on a moment. I probably just need to stop the share and go back to the other one.
That'll work.
Or I'll do this. Hang on, stop share, and let me try again. Sorry, guys. I thought I was being really clever, but it
It's
didn't quite
okay.
work. How's that?
Coming in.
It's trying.
Twilight Zone.
Nope.
Taking its time.
This Marco and his big ass files.
That's probably what it is.
All right. Well, don't worry about it. It's still not loading.
Not important.
It's okay.
Not important
Shows
enough.
at the
Not
end.
important enough.
Let me try.
Did you say you're only using you're using 3 taps, Dennis?
3 power taps, yeah, at the beginning of each straightaway.
Okay. Have you tried the scale auto track yet for continuity and stuff?
No.
Okay. All right. On our 135-foot polycar track, we have 6 taps and could
Mhm.
probably use 1 or 2 more.
Well, we'll see. See
Yeah,
how it
I'm
goes.
just yep.
Okay. And then, so that's the Electric Dreams report for the day. The Samson report for the day is that I've been playing with brushless motors again. And over a period of time, I've gone from brushless motors that look kind of like this, right? This is a KC Racing. They call it an 1106 because the stator inside this thing, oh, hang on, God, it's terrible to try and position it, is 11 millimeters diameter by 6 millimeters long. And then having gone from there, then we go to this one, which is 1105. And so it has different characteristics because it's smaller. So for the same RPM, it has a different torque characteristics. And then when we go from there, I've been actually going down to things like this. This one is a 1003, so it's a 10 millimeter inside, although it's quite big on the outside. Nice for cars that don't have a lot of torque. And then going from there down to what I've been playing with the last little while, which is this, which is a 0803. So it's 8 millimeter stator with a 3 millimeter length. Absolutely tiny, tiny, tiny little thing that is, all of these are on 1.5 millimeter shafts, so they take special pinions. But unbelievable speeds. This little red thing is a 12,000 kV, so that effectively on 12 volts, this is a 140,000 RPM motor at full bore. All right. And so I run this with in the car that I'm running it with a 5-tooth pinion and a 32-tooth gear. So it's running at like 6 point something to 1. Others I've been running 5-tooth pinions and 40-tooth gears, so they're running up around 8 to 1. But then the bigger ones you can get even more. I've got a couple of these, the 1105s or the 1106s that are rated at 23,000 kV, and they squeal when you put them on the track. They sound like the old Cobalt Eurosport motors. They absolute scream. Very different. But anyway, a lot of fun. These little ones are going into some of my Eurosport Formula One cars, and I've been back and forward with guys in Germany and all over the place to try and find control boards that work for them. For these little red jobs, I think I tried 4 control boards before I found one that would really work well, because the magnets are so small and the stack is so short that the generated back EMF as the motor starts is very, very low. And some of the boards that are meant for the slower motors just can't recognize it and don't know which way to turn it. And so the thing just sits there and vibrates. Chatters and goes, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. It's just not much fun. And when you do get it to go, then it goes, and every time you let the throttle off and it brakes and you want to try and accelerate again, it says, I don't know where to go. But once I got to fancier board, it all worked well. And fortunately, fancier boards these days is more a matter of firmware than hardware, which means that they don't cost anything more, really, than the regular boards. Same as the motors, Motors don't cost more because they rev higher. They just don't cost more. You can These little ones were expensive, believe it or not. These ones are around $30 on Amazon, whereas the others are all about 19 or 20.
Cool.
Anyway, that's been my fun for the last couple of days. I haven't run this 1003 yet. I have a 10.5 in a car now that's running very, very nicely. And this one is the next one to try.
Cool. Well, Dennis, you care to expound a little bit on the actual Skill Auto event that you guys are going to have?
So I'm not really sure exactly what's going with that yet. Marco will no doubt be sending out something soon because it'll be at the end of February. Is that event? It's just called the Scale Auto Euro Challenge. I know it's 1/32 scale. I'm not sure whether it's hypercars or GT3s or both. What I do know is that it's going to be handout tires, handout motors, to be fitted at time of tech inspection. So you get what you get, you put it in the car, and you go racing, qualifying and racing.
How many? You don't know how many days or how many?
I think it's just
entries
one
and
day.
things
It's
like
the
that?
Saturday at the end of the month. I'll have a look-see.
And still no digital capable track piece from Scale Auto, I presume.
Not that I've heard of
Mm.
or seen anything yet, no.
Said they were going to do one, but I haven't seen anything about it either.
The Scale Auto Euro Challenge is the 21st of February. So it's not the last Saturday, it's the second to last
Oh.
Saturday.
I'm actually going to be in town that weekend.
The third
I'm not going to race.
Okay. Anyway,
Like to
I'll
stop.
probably be able to report back a little bit in the meantime on a couple of these meetings, how we're getting on with that.
Sounds
Cool.
good.
Look forward to it. All right. Good to see Steve again. Hey, thanks for being on the chat. And he's like, hey, Greg, you're muted, by the way, but that's okay. You don't have to unmute if you don't want to.
Nice to be back, Greg.
Good to see you.
Oh, that's Steve. Yeah, I was looking at something from him the other day, or this morning, and there's an old thread that was revived on Home Racing World about Lola T260s, and I looked at that. I thought, oh, we haven't seen Steve for ages. How you doing?
Pretty good. It's been a hard month or so. Not even to mention the weather. And then, of course, on top of that, you've seen Minnesota on the news, so you know how it's going.
Yeah, not good.
But it's
All
good
right.
to be back.
Good
Gonna
with you, bro.
actually open the track up for the first time tomorrow night in a month and a half.
Awesome.
Haven't been able to go racing. I had spine surgery, and it's been a bitch.
That'll
So
set
it's
you
good
back.
good to be back, you guys.
Well, hope to
Good
see you
to see
next
ya.
week then.
Pardon?
All right. I said I hope to see you next week then.
I know. Thank you.
Hear about the racing.
Thanks.
The floor is open, so any slot car topic. Jeremy, he's got his hand up. What would you like to talk about?
Hey, I was late for show and tell. I had computer problems. But
No
on the
problem.
auction site, I picked up this car, Ninco Classic. But I just found it was a weird color, and I was like, I don't remember that one. Does anybody remember
That's
that
came up.
car? Because I
Yeah,
know
I remember.
that red is okay. I
Yeah.
just never had it, and I was like, oh, I got to get that one. So, and I just don't remember them making this weird. It's almost like a maroonish color.
Maroon, yeah, it's pretty.
They
though.
did.
Okay. Was it an
Looks
actual
good.
livery or was it like a fantasy livery? Because I'm
I
trying to look
never-
up information and I can't find anything about it. So, I mean,
Right.
if they did make it a fantasy, God bless them. It's beautiful. I mean,
Well,
that was the way to go.
I think it's a vintage racer. I think someone actually
Hmm.
restored a 120 for vintage racing, and that's the way it looks.
Okay.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
was
I
a
don't think Ninco ever made any fantasy liveries, did they?
I have no idea.
Apart from
That's
ones
good.
that we use for marketing.
Yeah, and you can tell it's like a modern sort of restoration because there's I think a AMR on the side. What do you call it? The Aston Martin.
There's a Jaguar logo on it.
Oh, are there wings?
I get. Yeah, it's got like two wings with the red thing in the center. Is that Aston Martin? I can't tell.
I think so.
You-
Yeah.
Okay. The weird thing about it was that it didn't have the front bumpers or the rear bumpers, but there's no there's no scarring like where somebody would have plucked them out. So I don't know if it came with no bumpers or they just weren't glued in. But I don't care. I love it, so I'm good. I just love any of the Ninco classics. So. And
Yeah.
Well,
all
and
original motor, original springy thing, even.
is it an NC1?
No, it's NC5, which would have put it towards
Wow.
the end of the Ninco run. But I think, yeah, I don't know. I love it. It's got everything else original. So
Well, I was going to say, Jeremy, it probably didn't come with bumpers because that's the way they're raced.
meh.
Yeah, it didn't come with bumpers. I just Googled Ninco Jaguar XK120 and came up with a thing on Home Racing World Slot Car Garage of exactly that classic Jaguar, number 32, Friedestein on the side and that little green winged logo and no bumpers.
Okay.
So
That's
it
weird because
looks
my
like-
white and green one I have do have like fancier bumpers, like two little stubs that go in there, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm good. I love it. Even though my club doesn't race them anymore, I still hold out hope somebody will.
That's too bad. The Jags are good runners too.
Yeah,
I know.
they are.
That long wheelbase.
That was it.
Cool beans. Mike, what you like to talk about or ask about? Or bitch about?
You will. This is sort of just for us, but I plugged the. I downloaded the Chrono app and plugged the dongle in, and I got it to work for RCSO2. Go figure.
That is so crazy. I'm glad that worked. I wish I had remembered to suggest that sooner.
Oh,
But
that's all right. I mean,
I'm gonna unless you do, I'm gonna post something on Slot Forum just kind of as a reminder that.
well, I want to check to see if it
Something.
works on Windows 11 now. I haven't plugged it into the other computer. I got to download the Chrono app and do that. So,
Sure,
and I also haven't tested to see that it actually works. But it did communicate with the RCSO2. So
yeah,
that's
RCSO2
positive.
said RCSO2 discovered it and said I'm good to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
So,
also it did. I tried with Chrono first, and it hooked up to Chrono.
yeah.
So
Yeah. I
Who
said,
knows?
I vaguely remember having to do that a long time ago. So even today, there is still something that gets installed by Chrono that makes those programs work. But nobody knows. And
well,
nobody
and my
says,
question
"Nope."
is, why did it work for quite a while and then all of a sudden stop?
And whatever
That's-
that something is was probably affected by whatever Windows update, right? Until we
Yeah.
know what it is. But at the very least, we have more evidence that says, if you're having problems, have you installed Chrono yet? If not, just install Chrono. Even if you're
Yeah.
not going to use it, just install it because whatever it does makes things work better for RCSO2 and PC Lap Counter most likely. I expect PC Lap Counter to work now too. So
Yeah. Well, after the chat today, I'll check out and see that the race management system works and see what happens.
Yep. Well, good to hear. Glad you did that. Glad it
Yep.
worked. All right. Anybody, any slot car related topic? Does Yuno want to talk about the race? Oh, Craig has something. You waved your hand. You got to unmute yourself if you want us to hear you.
I have a shout out to Jeremy on his body post.
Cool.
There's an NSR 720 with it installed. If you notice, they're in the 4 different locations. It's so I can put a Thunderslot Mustang chassis under it.
Nice.
Okay.
And then something else. I started.
That's a good use for a Thunderslot chassis.
I started about a year ago trying to make my own vacuum form windshields. And I never had much luck. So what I found is, because when you buy them, I don't think they're the greatest. I take a regular windshield, it's kind of hard to see in the picture, and put clay behind it. So it lays flat in the vacuum machine, and I just suck the plastic right down over it, and it'll make a windshield about as perfect as you can get, just like the original ones.
Nice. What kind of
How
clay
big
did
is-
you use?
What's that?
What kind of clay did you use?
Oh, I got it on eBay. It's
Like air hardened?
DAS.
Okay, yeah. So that's air hardening, right?
Yeah, it'll air harden on its own. You don't have to bake it.
Nice.
And then and that supports the plastic. So when you suck down over, it doesn't warp the windshield. You can make 7 or 8 windshields off one mold with no problem.
Wow.
What do you use for a vacuum machine? How big is it?
Oh, I just got one of the little gentle ones.
I'm
That's
just
the
thinking
same
about
thing.
interior. Can you do interiors or just windshields?
I've tried interiors. The biggest problem with it is you can vacuum form it, but it's getting that darn driver out of there. They like to stay in it. That's the problem. But if I were to take the driver out of the car, do the interior, then install a driver, I can get that to work.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think what Geo does is remove, if the driver's head is removable, he pops the head off. And because that's the main issue is the head.
Yes, the head. You're right. I never thought of trying that.
Yeah. If the head comes off, give that a try.
Decapitate them.
Yeah.
Try it. Let us know how that works out.
Yeah.
I'll have to try. I'll have to try it. I've got to do the interior for the 720 yet, so I might try that and see what happens. I've got an interior for it, just to experiment off the original one. So,
You ever use plastic plates like Geo does?
no.
He discovered a cheap source of black plastic to use with the vacuum former is some kinds of plates.
Yeah, this year thin plastic will work in a vacuum former. It's black.
But do you have to, is that like a special source for vacuum formers?
Now this is, I don't remember what company I bought this stuff from, but there's a place in Florida that has a lot of the vacuum form plastic. You can get, I believe they're 6 by 11 sheets. There's a ad on there now. You get 400 of them for $59. So you just cut it in half and each one works.
There you go.
I
But
think
that'll
Geo
be clear,
uses.
not black.
I think Geo uses some kind of like picnic plates that were like a hard black or something, wasn't it? Like some kind of picnic plates.
Yep, some kind of plastic cheap plates that he used because they're black and they're thin enough and they're the right material.
Yeah,
And
I know what plates you're talking about. I never thought of
There you
that.
go.
And you can get it in red and you can get other colors.
Yeah. Get on it.
You
You can
know,
make tens of dollars.
make-
Join us.
Exactly. All right, well, we got plenty of time. Do we want to hear from Una or Wayne some more? Una, do you want to talk about the race or anything?
Did I miss that when you talked?
Wayne gave us 10 minutes, and I was thankful that he just did a nice little short thing. But now we have more time. We can go into more depth and talk about whatever you want to talk about.
10? Are you sure?
Even less, maybe. So is that a no?
It's difficult because it's left us sore. That's what it is.
Tell
Go
us what
ahead,
you think
Yona.
about tell us about the race, Yona.
Yeah, well, I don't have much to tell really. And I don't know what you've heard. It was a bit late.
We came, we saw, we conquered. Yeah, okay.
That's basically what Wayne said. Yeah, we did really well.
Conquered is an apt word because you may remember a photograph that was once circulated where a Napoleonic hat was adapted to fit onto a particular. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many races
Well,
were there?
What was that,
So
everyone?
did you guys run cars that Yona made? How did that
Well,
work? Tell us about the car.
Okay,
we
so
raced.
Go ahead. You do it.
Yeah, so we raced Group C's on a Saturday. I don't know. So I didn't have any input on those. And I'm still kind of confused how we managed to win that race. Of course, Wayne didn't, but no, what I heard when I came was that the car was terrible. Then Wayne claimed he had fixed it, but it was still bad. And then, yeah, Gio put it on track, and I looked at the lap times and just tuned the pod on the car, and seemed to work reasonably well. And yeah, we were P2 when it was time for me to drive. We were P1 when I came down. Gio drove like 100 laps, and then I had to be called back up because we were about to lose the lead.
Kudos to you for that.
Yeah, kudos, absolutely.
What
Yeah.
what
What
yeah,
car did you use?
what you
Jaguar,
XJR10.
the big one. Yeah.
a Castrol one?
Yeah.
Yep.
The category is completely new to us and largely unknown because I don't think any of us race slotted Group Cs on any regular basis at all.
Mhm.
The European digital scene has had several 9-hour endurance races at Paul Ricard with those cars. I say several, probably 2, but they've certainly done it before. I don't know about the Suzukas. I don't know whether they do that there at all. But we went with the express expectation that we would be well off the pace with the Group C cars, not knowing any of the little tricks or you know, inside line on how to get those to work better than they would out the box, sort of thing. So one of our cars was built by Oscar, and Gio had the other one. And on the Sunday before the race, he took it there and came away saying, "Yeah, I didn't run it very much. It was rubbish, and it wouldn't do a lap without deslotting." And on the technical side, when I got there and had a little look around the car myself, Gio had already spotted this. The guide was too high for the height of the front wheels. So I put guide shim into there because we were not going to get the chassis or body any lower than it was already sitting on with the wheels where they were. So instead of attending to the wheel heights, I just put shim on the guide. And I think I put 0.6 millimeters in there.
Wow.
Which is a fair amount. Yes,
Yeah.
that
That's
explains the wow. So yeah, that was the thing that fixed it and made it go around the track. After that, I took a little look at the pod and how loose it was or wasn't, and I went, okay, I don't know what to do. I don't know how best to do this. I think probably a little bit looser than it is right now might be in the sweet spot, but exactly where, no idea. You'd have to look around. We'd have to look around the other cars in the category. So I don't know whether anyone did, but Yona turned up with a little bit of experience, I think, and did loosen the screws. Did you not? I think you made them
Well,
looser.
what we did was because it was slotted brass screws only. And I think most people use the slotted smaller big head screws. But we put in those conical screws at the front. So we had no fore aft or
Side to
side
side.
movement.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have tried them at the rear as well, but we didn't. And yeah, the car seemed pretty decent when it got on track. Yeah, and then I think I started half a turn off on all points and just kept backing off until lap times were not improving anymore.
Good.
So I can't really remember how we actually ran it, but it was one of the quicker cars in the field somehow, even after all the things Gio had done to it.
The other car we had was a Nissan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that was in a red and white livery. I don't know exactly what that one is, but that's what it was. And the regulations stipulated a certain weight for the body shell, and that body shell would have been below that weight. And when I took a look inside of it, there was tungsten ballast installed into it, and it was in between the front and rear wheels on the roof, shall we call it.
Well, it was round the front wheel arches. Right?
Yeah, I'd say just behind the front wheel arches. But there's a regulation that says that any ballast that's installed into a body shell must be done so at above a height of 15 millimeters. 15
Oh,
millimeters
wow.
from what? I don't know. From the bottom of the car, from the track, I don't know. But there's
Yeah,
a 15 millimeter height somewhere, and I'm not sure how that you can regulate that. I don't know how that's measured, but it
I'm
was
sure
deemed to be
whoever
legal.
wrote that rule didn't think about that either. Silly.
Well,
Normally those rules will just say if you're adding weight, it's got to be underneath the cockpit, in the cockpit area. I know the NSR body weight rules are like that. If you add any weight, it's got to be within the cockpit area of the car, underneath the cockpit.
underneath the cockpit.
Yeah, underneath the driver, underneath the passenger seat, all of those areas, anything that's part of the cockpit, the interior, it's got to
Yeah.
be mounted there.
So
But
it
certainly that would not
can.
be 15 millimeters. 15 millimeters is like almost above the top of the front wheels.
Oh yeah, that's where it was because I mean the wheel arches are in the side of the body shell, aren't they? And of course
Yeah.
the roof goes over the front. I'm calling it the roof. It's the ceiling of the area not the cockpit. It's in between the front and rear wheels. And we're of the opinion that the CG of our body shell was too high.
Too
Simple as
high.
that.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
car was not a million miles away, but these cars are extremely close anyway. I've got the qualifying results, and they're all like there are several cars on the same tenth of a second. But when you've got a little bit of inconsistency or something that, I mean, I know how the car drove. There was a chicane. It is called the chicane at Suzuka. It's the last two corners before you go down the start finish straight.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, three corners because it's a right, left, right.
Right, left.
And the car would just de-slot on the high side. It would just bicycle occasionally, and you didn't know when. So you had to drive through there. You'd have to try and go through quickly, but then it would just bicycle out and end up in a marshal's hand, and that's an awkward place to marshal. And there's a lot of crashing takes place there. Don't get me wrong; it's a very fast approach from 130R, the corner one called 130R, and yeah, it would just bicycle out from time to time, and then you'd go a little bit slower to try to prevent that, and you'd have a car run into the back of you, or you'd just notice that a car had opened up a gap on you on the main straight. I've just lost a foot, and you can't afford that with Group C. So you were constantly, as a driver, trying to match other cars in the field with your driving, and it just wouldn't have it. So yeah, didn't know there was any solution for that other than to take that ballast away. But it's a regulation, and so we complied with the regulations, and that's what we ended up with. I don't exactly know what the trick is to prevent to require not require that, but there you go.
Well, heavy lights is usually the trick.
Heavy lights. Now what kind of workaround is that? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a bad rule because I get the intent. They don't want you to
They don't want
be
everyone
forced to
running the
run the
same
lightweight
car.
bodies.
Yeah, they don't want everyone running basically the same body shell, do they?
Yeah, that's usually the problem with Group C. If you don't have a minimum body weight, everybody runs the Nissan.
Yeah, but even if you have a minimum body weight and put the weight on the interior, you still get a lower center of gravity with the Nissan than anything else.
Yeah, true.
So I guess they want to avoid that, and they've skewed the rules in the other direction because it was the P2 car was a Sauber.
I was about to mention that. How
Yeah.
well rated is the Sauber C9 in Slotted Group C world? Because it was the second quickest car, or it certainly finished in second. It was one of the quickest.
Yeah. The
It's
quickest
not
car
that
was
quick.
probably the car that led initially.
at the American slotted nationals. It's not a favored car at all. I don't know that anybody more than one or two have ever been raced here.
It
But
wasn't
that
on
may
my
well be
radar, and I
because
was
of
like, what
other
is that
reasons.
grey thing going around? I didn't even recognize what it was. 'Cause
Now, that may not be because of its performance. It may be more because of the rules about having to stop and replace a wing if the wing breaks off. Because the rear wings on the Sabres are like the Mazdas. They're pretty fragile.
Okay, so we do have that same regulation. I don't really know how the team got around that. Perhaps just not crashing is the answer.
I
But
think flexible rear wing supports are permitted, so they
Okay.
might have used that.
Yeah, that's
yes,
possible.
they are. Yeah. Anyway, that was Group C. But what we really wanted to talk about, what we really went to race, was the WEC, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So what did we have with us, Yona?
Yeah. So Gio had built a Scalaro BMW. Wayne had the Scalaro Cadillac from Polycard last year. And Wayne had built a chassis for the BMW as well, but it had a bad motor in it. So I believe when you tested it, Gio just said, I don't want to run this because the motor was so bad. So Gio ran his chassis and it wasn't one of mine because he didn't get in time. Yeah, so he ran a 3D SRP chassis with one of my pods in that car, and it was the quickest car almost the whole weekend until the race, I'd say.
Then
When you're quiet.
You were looking for a confirmation, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, obviously throughout practice, it had got, yeah, the Cadillac it wasn't bad, but it wasn't as quick as Gio's car. But I didn't know why. And then I found out why. And when I swapped the motor I swapped the motor as a last ditch, like, I wonder if it's this kind of thing. And I took the motor from the chassis that I'd built to fit the BMW, and it went half a second a lap slower. And I was like, holy cow. So what's the capability of the BMW chassis if you put a real motor in it? Anyway, that left me going, well, the bench testing that I'd done on the motors did not give me any evidence that this was likely to be the case. And I just can't wait until I get my handout motor, because that was the only option left to us. And as soon as I got the handout motor, the car became what it should have been. It became quick. The thing is that no one had really noticed, particularly the drivers in our team, because at that time, all of our quickest drivers were all slavering at the prospect of racing the BMW. And what happened? The BMW went out, and Gio said, "Oh, this is awful. It can't do what it was doing earlier." And I was quite the reverse. I was like, "No, mine's come alive." It's like it feels bloody awesome. I haven't pulled out the lap time, but it felt awesome. In fact, it was so quick I had to change the gear ratio. The gear ratio I'd been up and down with the gear ratios a little bit just to shoot around and find out for sure. And what I got on the car was relatively tall, and we put the handout motor on that, and I went and did 15 or 20 laps in qualifying one, which was Saturday night. And I popped in a personal best lap for myself for the weekend, probably a personal best lap ever at an 11.5. And I picked the car up and the motor was steaming hot. It was so hot I couldn't touch it. And I was like, geez, wet. I'm so glad I stopped when I did. I wonder if I've already wrecked this motor. And so I took it back to the pit, changed the gear ratio on it, and it carried on on the other lower gear ratio for the rest of the event, and eventually won.
you just broke it in nicely then.
No, I threw it in the car and threw it on the track and drove
Yeah,
it.
what I mean is that running it hot is what broke it in nicely.
Oh well, I've no idea. I don't think that. I think the risk regarding with the temperature, the high temperature, is that the magnets would have been weakened.
And therefore it revved a little higher when you're done.
Oh man, it was so fast. I was twiddling knobs, turning the brakes up full, and all sorts of stuff like that. And there was a little kink on the straight, and the car would de-slot on the kink on the straight that you don't normally take flat. Don't get me wrong, you lift for it and then you power back after it. But I was doing all the same rhythm with my fingers and it just wouldn't go around it, and it just kept popping out the slot because it was hitting it so quickly. And I'm told that that is one of the ways to get a quick lap, is to shoot the car at the start finish line, and the little right kink is in the presence of the start finish line. Do it basically do what Ayrton Senna used to do, throw it over the finish line and crash it, because you would gain a little tiny bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's what I was effectively doing, but that's how I got my. I presume that's how I got my 11.5. I went on to qualify in 11.3, but that wasn't me driving it. And the qualifying session, the second qualifying session, Saturday morning, I think the times at the front were a tiny bit slower than previous years, but they were all in the 11.2, 11.3 range. There was an 11.36, and that was third. Our car was 11.30, and I think Gio's must have been 11.2 something. But
11.18, I think.
What?
11.18.
It might have been. Yeah. 11.2 between friends. Listen, the man who knows is actually in the chat, and he's called Anders because he's probably got the chrono data that tells us the answers to all of these memory style questions that we can't actually answer with facts.
I do.
There he is.
Yeah, I was there as well. Talk about it from my point of view. So I went there down in my RV together with Jonah and Oscar from Sweden to Holland, and it's well, a normal day on a normal car is maybe to say 12, 13 hours drive in one direction, but an hour is a little bit slower. There was some traffic incidents as well, so it took a bit longer, especially on the way back home because it was snowing through Germany. But I then had a travel, and you see, with Jonah and Oscar in my car on there and back home, and then because I could park near the club, Tamar slept over in my RV as well, so it was good. So I was there more as a spectator and to learn things, listen and learn, and because I'm writing an RMS, I wanted to be at the event itself, so I can learn a lot of stuff. I think these events are really amazing because it's so intense throughout the whole weekend. Of course, I try to be a little fly on the wall and get a little bit chance to talk to people, but people are so occupied all the time with fixing with the cars. I mean, you heard the stories here, and during a race, of course, you don't want to disturb everybody. You get a little bit time to chat with people, maybe in the evening or maybe in the morning and stuff like that. But it's really like let's say, a real one-to-one event, very intense. And I think, let's say, a little bit of the controversy you may have seen on slot form, and it's because these events become so competitive. It's a sort of reflection of that, I would say, right? So I can show you a little bit if you want to. From that, if I can hit the right share bottom. So now we should see something over.
Yep.
Yep.
Suzuka Double Digital.
Right. So let's look at the Group C race. Let's see. Yep. So this is a leaderboard for the final stand. What I've done, I took the log files from Chrono, which was a real RMS that was running at the event, and I've read it into my own RMS. So my own RMS, let's say, thinks it actually was used at the real race, but it's actually, let's say, a simulation of the real race. I need to fix a few things here, but let me probably take a couple of weeks, but then I'll present this on slot form so anyone can access it. But this is the final standard for the first race, and
Look at the fastest laps. I think they were qualifying in 12.3, and yet look at those 11.7s, 11.98s.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So let's see here. Let's load it in. So we can see here the positions on an ordinary position chart. I need to work a little bit on the performance here when I read data, but forget about that. So we can say, sorry. So we can see here that, for example, international races, the blue line here, yeah, they were second in the position for most of the time, but half through the race, it took the lead. And then they were chased by DSCA there. But in the position chart, you couldn't really see actually how close the race really was. So let's look on this on another view instead. Look at the gaps. And if you look at this from DSCA's perspective, they came second. Let's exclude some of the drivers here. They were at the bottom. Let's see if I find those exiles. DIT, this one here, this one here. Oh, sorry, this one here. And so now I have it. So what this is a sort of the middle line here is the second team, and here we see the timeline for all race, and we see the time difference here on the y-axis. So we can see from their perspective, yeah, they lost a little bit to international races, the blue line here, but for the say last part of the race here, they were closing up all the time until the last part time here. They were pretty even. So let's look a little bit closer on this here. So this is the last part of the race. We can see that DCSA was gaining on international races. If that would have continued in this pace here, they would actually get in front. But then they got the pace up again. DCSA was still approaching that, and in the end, we can see there was only 13 seconds, a little bit more than that, actually, differing between first position and second position. So this is a little bit what we can do with this. We can also look at stint analysis, for example. If this is not a real thing here, but we can, if we change the name for the real drivers here, we can actually see how they perform the different stints and which proportion of the race they actually had. And I think that maybe when we're talking about the race and rules and stuff like that, maybe future races need a little bit more, let's say, governance when it comes to, okay, how much should each driver drive for each team and stuff like that. But then you can use something like this to actually in real time understand how much portion of the race is driven by each driver. And we can, for example, this is not a real data because I haven't not designed the right drivers to the right stint here, but we can also then compare the different drivers and see how they perform during that race. Yeah, I think we'll stop there.
Pretty cool.
It will be.
Yep. So yeah, you will get access to all this yourself in a couple of weeks here.
Very good. So yeah, we what do we need to say about the who did you drive for first, Yona, in the work? Actually, we could talk about the way that the race went, because the starting drivers were Ezra for International with the BMW and Oscar with the Cadillac for Global. And they both did 90-minute stints. And then we switched drivers we couldn't swap them from one position to the other. So they switched drivers to you and I, didn't we, Yona? And I drove the Global Cadillac because that's the team I was the captain for, and you drove the BMW. And
Yeah.
for the first time in our lives, we actually raced one another, didn't we?
Yeah, and I drove terribly.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you. I must have drove terribly as well then.
no, I
Well,
mean
in 90 minutes, I think the total laps difference between you and I was one, wasn't it?
one or none at all.
But it
Yeah,
depends. But yeah, it depends on how you assess when the driver changes took place, etc. But yeah, approximately nothing.
yeah.
It was entertaining to actually have a play together, wasn't it? Because yes, we did manage to crash into one another.
Well, that was
Uh,
in the Group C, I think.
no, it wasn't the Group C. I thought we'd done with the Group C.
I don't. We didn't crash
We
in the
did.
WEC.
Yeah, we did. Oh, sorry. Oh, we cracked. Yeah, no, you're right. I think you're right. The Group C was where we actually. Yeah, I did one of those D slots, and you were alongside me at the time. Yeah, that was correct. So we didn't hit one another in the Group C in the WEC.
No, I was
That's
too quick
amazing.
for you then.
Yeah, evidently, because the total was zero. Yeah, the total difference was zero. It's far too quick for me.
I mean, don't belittle yourselves. I mean, Gio told me, or he might have posted this on the forum as well, that he saw a lot of improvement in Yuna's driving, just consistency and all that. So
Well,
that is to say
not
that if you guys were
consistency.
so even, that is to say then that Wayne's driving was good and Yuna's driving is good now too. Or however you want to
Well,
take that. I would say
consistency
it's a
wise,
compliment.
I was the quickest car on track, but consistency wise on the BMW, I was nowhere. I couldn't get through traffic because in the Group C, the times were quite even, so the traffic wasn't too terrible. But in the WEC, we were quite a bit quicker than some of the other cars, and I just couldn't handle it, evidently. So I crashed way too much in traffic, and yeah, that allowed Wayne to equal me, I guess.
So
Well,
you're
we can analyze that a little bit later when,
Yeah.
when I get the information on from when you switch driver on which lap, and after the data, then we can compare the different lap times and see how the consistent they are. But I think anyway, I mean, we had a lot of chat in the car, and everybody a little bit see Oscar as a star driver. It was good when we but you run the 24-hour race, sure. But I think, let's say that the positive outcome, or I mean, a positive outcome of this weekend is that I think you've now established yourself as a star driver yourself, right? On the same level as Oscar.
Not on the BMW, on the Cadillac,
Yeah.
maybe you could make that argument.
Well, I don't know the answer there because I haven't seen the outcome. I don't know how many laps or how quickly you were doing them on the Cadillac. I
Yeah.
wasn't with you, was I? I wasn't, you know what I mean? Yeah. The Cadillac was your better stint then, was it?
It was way better because I felt like I had the same pace, but I guess I had improved my strategy for overtaking, so didn't come off too much.
I've got a question for you. What was the difference between the two cars to drive them? Was there much?
It's hard to tell because one was in the day, one was in the dark,
Ah,
and instinctively you drive different. You drive the car differently in the dark than you do when you can see exactly what's going on. So I can't actually say how big the difference was. Um, but I enjoyed driving both.
do you know
Some
what's
would
strange
accuse
about
me
that?
of
What's
what?
strange about you know what's strange about that is that we all accommodate the fact that it's gone dark to some extent in some manner or other, but I don't know if it actually reflects in the lap times at all.
It depends on the driver, I'd say.
Yeah.
But for me, no.
I think, yeah. I actually, when we did Paul Ricard in the dark, because you and I were the dark drivers, weren't we? We went through the night, basically alternating driving duty whilst ever it was dark. And I know I'm talking about an event that was last summer now, but I felt really, really good in the dark. I felt really, really competitive, particularly compared to and I don't think the lap times were any different.
I know that well, but I think, let's say, from our perspective, this is an amazing event. I mean, uh, almost 15 teams, 3 or 4 drivers in each team, running side by side and off each other very close, and it's really like a real race, right? And then having the same pace with very few slots, even during nighttime. I think that's is incredible. So I think these events is something very special, and we haven't talked about, let's say, a single minute now. We're talking about oxygen itself, but it really sort of worked more or less flawless.
It's a good thing that we're not speaking about it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
compared to maybe a year ago, whatever, right? It's not a problem. We're a small little glitch in Chrono at the first race, but that's just a minor thing, not in oxygen itself. I think it's the level this is on. It's amazing. It's amazing, really. So I hope, let's say, that this gets a sort of kickoff to actually expand this, because this is so extremely amazing and so good.
It is, isn't it? I've got a 90-minute video. I set
Yeah.
my phone camera on a tripod and set my video recorder going not long before I started to drive.
Yeah.
And I have a video of 90 minutes from one view angle, and I watch it, and I've only watched 20 minutes of it so far, but I am utterly amazed by the standard of driving that I'm witnessing,
yeah.
not just from the top drivers, but from the
Yeah.
whole field. Who, I mean, the marshals are not busy. There's 13 cars going around there, for cripe's sakes.
yeah.
And a marshal can
Driving
be,
in the same lane.
well, potentially, but they don't.
Yeah.
But it could be sat there for a minute or more, a couple of minutes or more, and there's not a single car crashed.
Yeah.
It is incredible, and the ability of the whole field is super impressive.
Yeah. And
So-
let's say the underlying system as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
So
think
between,
it's time for a digital slot car racing, like you've just said, to mature to a state where it gets adopted. It's not inexpensive. That's the thing, but it's almost it's ready rather than 6 car systems. I think it's actually ready to I want to see more events in more places. I want to see it taking off on other continents.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, the European scene that we take part in is the pinnacle globally. I don't know, there isn't another. There's some other racing in Spain. It may be very good, but that's 3 races a year.
I mean, there were talks about this, I think it was 1.5 years ago, after that year's 24-hour race. And we had chatted, but it almost happened that you took it up, I think it's Electric Dream. So we'll be talking about it at least.
But
and I think it's maybe time to bring it up again.
I just read something on the Electric Dreams rules rulebook. It says, I can share this maybe.
Rulebook for what, Jona?
Technical rulebook, I think. During the closures of Nyland Raceway, we will be offering 2 new tracks based on the Scale Auto and Polycar systems. More information to come, but there are 2 special events on the way, including the first major digital race in America, in association with DISCA, the Slot Car Racing Association, and a European-style race using their set of rules. So the digital race they're talking about must be the
it'll be on the Polycar event
race.
Yeah.
July 18th.
Aha, okay.
So there is something happening.
There are plans for it, for sure.
All
All
right.
right. Well, I need to know as far in advance if that's going to actually be a thing so that I can plan for it.
Yeah, we need to get Marco on here and talk about it.
Yeah. It will be a little bit harder to drive my RV there, though.
Well,
Yeah.
if you start now and you head for Kamchatka, then we can get a ferry to get you into Alaska somewhere, and then you can drive down. Yeah, you might just make it by August.
I'm already in the car.
I wanted to ask Wayne and Yona, you guys had two teams, right? This global racing and international racing. Did you not have enough drivers that you could have dedicated drivers for each team, or what was the story? Because I
We
presume
were
this is
5 drivers, and really you need to be 6 to run
Yeah,
two
that's
separate
it.
teams.
We were 5. We were 5 drivers plus a marshal, so we had enough people to.
Not true.
Yeah, they didn't ask me, you know.
Okay. I hear Wayne's wife contributing in the background too.
That's my marshal.
Oh.
They could have done it with 2 drivers.
2 drivers.
Yeah.
They could have.
So if we did it with 2 drivers, what do you do with the 5th one?
What? No, one team 3, the other team 2.
Sort that out.
Well,
Yeah, that could have been an option, honestly.
Two drivers over 6 hours would be pretty rough.
No,
Well, not really.
I mean, if you don't need to marshal, it's 90 minutes driving, 90 minutes rest twice. That's fine.
Well, the way that the guys drive there would be 90 minutes driving, 90 minutes turn marshalling, and that's a rest anyway, according to Wayne, because they don't do much.
Oh gosh, no.
Yeah.
Ezra didn't marshal.
Ezra never marshaled.
He may have marshaled for about 5 minutes while I got a sandwich.
There you go.
Dear.
That was one of our star drivers.
She, poor lass, had to turn marshal the whole time.
No, we had our son with us and myself, and we rotated, didn't we? Gio got to marshal quite a lot because Gio decided not to drive.
Oh well. Interesting.
For the most
But
part.
he's not here today.
Did he think he was not driving well? He didn't want to risk it, or?
Well, he
Go on, Yona.
his driving stint was scheduled for the end, and it just so happened that we were in a close race in both races. When he got on, we were under threat of losing the lead, so he called someone up to take over.
You weren't in the lead. You were under threat of losing second position. You weren't in the lead.
Yeah. But we either way, in both races, we were in a close race for a good position.
Yes.
No, he's talking about Saturday.
No, he's
He
not.
called-
I'm talking about both.
Yeah, because on the Saturday he called Yona back up to get back on so he wouldn't lose the lead.
Okay.
Yeah.
You saw that in my chart. I didn't call that out, but okay. But now we bring it up anyway. You saw the downward the gap
gap
decreasing, right? If it were to continue, they would have lost the lead. And that first part there, it was Gio was driving. Then when it straightened it out and the sort of gap
Even
didn't increase that much, it was actually Gio now that took over.
It's a pity he's not on. We could have really busted his chops today.
But it's a
delegating responsibility and assigning blame elsewhere just in case something went wrong. Yeah.
But this shows that this is so much team tactics, right? If you see that, and you know that, right? It just, of course. But it shows how competitive these races really are, right? And if you apply a little bit the extra taxes statistics, then you gain an advantage.
Well, Jonah, I think that's probably the biggest compliment to your driving skills that you're going to get for a while.
Yeah.
Well done, young man. Well done.
What about the old man?
I was gonna say, well done both. Well done, everyone.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great. I felt a little rusty when I first got there, and the Group C race didn't go well. And I thought, was that the car or was it me? And I I don't think I was as quick as my teammate with that, or my team. I don't know. I certainly was the slowest of the three that drove that Group C car. But when Sunday came around, and I knew the car had got what it takes. I took it over in the middle stint, and I'm always a support driver. I'm never the star. I'm the support driver. A solid proposition that tends to not break the car, tends to not crash it too often, tends to run a little bit slower lap time, and brings home solid result, despite the fact that my lap times are not that outstanding. We're talking tenths of seconds here. We're talking within the range of it. I'm certainly not a second a lap off the pace. You can't afford to do that. But we're talking tenths. And my middle stint, I really enjoyed. And then the night stint, well, I had to drive with a different mindset because at that stage, my night stint was the last 20 minutes of the race because we'd had drivers doing 90-minute stints, but one of those was cut short. One of those was cut short so that one of the star car drivers could be moved back from the global driving responsibility to the international driving so that the international team could do their utmost to get back into second position, which he was successful. He did do that. He came from behind the H&B to back in front of them. But that left us with a 20-minute stint at the end of the race. And I was umming and ahhing about who should really do that. And based on the position, it was always developing. It was always developing. It was watch the screen. How long is left? How many laps is the gap back to second place? Who is it in second place? Can I hold that gap? If I go up, and at some point you're going to have to be a damned idiot to lose 27 to 30 laps in just 20 minutes. And so, yeah, I'm capable of doing enough to hold on to that lead. I'll take the last 20 minutes then. A few people around me said you should. I provided and was behind the car, etc. There seems to be a motivation for people to honour either their captain or the person that provided the cars by letting them end the races. And so I went out for the last 20 minutes in the dark, and it was fun to have a bit of running in the dark, but I had a different job to do, which was to hold on to the lead and not do anything silly. And there was a team running around that were in a race. There were two teams in the race, and I was accused of some unfair driving by blocking another team. And this is not my intention. It never crosses my mind. It's not what I want to do. I'm not in that race. That's not my race. That sister team of mine, yes, they're running. They're my friends, but that's not going to sway me to change my driving style for that purpose. I'm not going to try and take anyone off.
Well, how do you even block someone?
Well,
You
that's
have
a
to be
very good
changing
question.
lanes in front of them when they're trying to overtake, I guess. Because
Well,
if you just stay in your lane, you can drive whatever pace you want.
That's precisely correct.
It's the duty of the driver behind to overtake.
By changing lanes.
Yeah.
That's correct. And so, therefore, the accusation is unfounded, isn't it?
Unless you are overtaking someone at the same time, which you would be in your right to do. So
yeah. I do have the right to change. I mean, there's not just these two cars in the race, or even three. There's still 10 others on the track, and you have to do the right thing to avoid running into the back of those, for example, if you want to maintain your pace. So yeah, I was changing lanes, but not to do anything towards anyone else's car. I think it's quite hurtful to have these things leveled at you when in reality you're not doing that, and then and then you stack that against the things that you witness or experience yourself. Like, for example, the H&B car scooping me off the track from behind. And doing it I was driving, but I'm told by people who were watching the race that it was doing it to other cars as well. And in fact, one of my teammates, I understand, tried to report a driving infringement, which is a thing that we can do. And that infringement was ignored because it was considered to be trying to influence the outcome of the race. And so the organization has something to answer for in that respect. But it is what it is. It's as good as it gets. And that's, yeah, we'd always like these things to be better. You've only got to watch Formula One. They don't even always get it right. But it's we still had a great event. We had fun with, racing against everyone and being together to race against everyone. It's that, and it was it's just a good time. Did you enjoy yourself, Yona?
I did, especially in the Group C when I got to overtake you a bunch.
Thank you very much. Maybe I'll build a Group C, and that might not happen. I don't know.
Yeah,
Sounds like awesome times.
we'll see. I mean, this Electric Dreams race sounds interesting, and that's
We'll see.
almost close enough to,
Digital.
yeah,
Oh
to the
man,
It'll
Scottish
be
Nationals.
oxygen.
it's going to be a complete crash fest, mate. Absolutely. You know,
Go in with high hopes but low expectations.
yeah.
Well,
People they need to
yeah,
learn to do digital a little bit before they actually put on a race that you could reasonably expect to be some quality. I would think. No
I mean,
disrespect, but
there needs to be lots and lots of practice time.
lots and lots of experience, practice, qualifying. It all adds up by heck. When that race start happens.
well, it depends how it's organized. If it's just 20 top drivers, then I guess it's fine.
Yeah. Just
Or
20
they'll
top
be scooping
drivers.
each other off the track all the time.
I have no idea yet. But I will keep tabs on it and report back as and when I can.
Yeah.
So if I share my file explorer, will you only see my file explorer and not the file that I want to share?
Correct. Your best bet is to share your display as opposed to a specific program.
Okay.
Just make sure you don't have anything else you might accidentally display that you don't want displayed.
Yeah, I get it, but entire screen, that's the choice, isn't it?
Yep.
So if I hit that, then you can see now my file folder, can't you? So if I show you a couple of things, like, for example, one of the race starts, here you go, try this.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a still. One moment. This is how a race start sometimes looks.
All red. Yes, he's pulling ahead. Keep it steady.
Did you manage to see that?
Is that your son?
Oh, in the purple?
No, yeah, and the voices.
Yeah, that's my son, and he's sat there in preparation to be a marshal, and the grid is correct. But I had a little bit of fun with.
All red. Yes, he's pulling ahead. Keep it steady.
And I thought it was so much fun that there looks like there's 100 cars on the track.
Yeah.
And so I once I'd done that, I couldn't stop myself, and I did a different one. Try this one.
That's the picture again.
That's the picture. My bad. I didn't mean to get the picture. That's the original picture. We're looking at this one.
Woo! Hey, what are you doing? Get off the track. Dude, you wrecked the race.
Please don't. Please don't with the AI stuff. Oh my God.
Looked like the cars turned around and went backward the other way
They
too.
were all over the place.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. So I made a few others. I don't. Is this a video? It might be a video.
If it's got the real marks, it's a
Great
video.
driving, team. We almost had it. Thanks, Captain. Next time, we did our best.
You even specified that it should have an Italian accent.
All of the accents. Yeah, I did. It's fun. It's so much fun. What else have I got here? These are just, I didn't take many stills. As you know, most of my occupying my camera was video. But that's us together at the accommodation on Saturday night, where Sean made us all. We went to the supermarket rather than a restaurant. We got spaghetti bolognese. We had a house, didn't we? We occupied a house. We had a 3-bedroom house between us for the weekend. This is what happened to James on the Saturday night. That was him before he even got to bed. He was zonked. He's having a lovely time. You may recall that in the background in this picture there is a Carrera layout.
Yeah, did he play on that?
Wrong one. Sorry, chaps. I meant to pick the photograph rather than the. Yeah, over there's a Carrera layout, and they gave him a couple of cars and a hand control, and all weekend long he could go on that podium and drive this analog layout to his heart's content. So he was occupied.
Yeah.
And when
Hey, Rob, hold on a sec, Wayne. Rob, did you have a question for Wayne on this topic, or did you want to say something else?
I wanted to add something to a different topic.
Okay. Let's let him get a word in edgewise, and then we'll see what else.
I'll screen sharing controls. Hang on a moment. Let me learn how to do that. Stop the share.
All right. Okay. What's up, Rob?
Let me go over here to this screen. I was asked, can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I was asked by the local MakerWorks company co-op to kind of come over and do a presentation on my track build that I did last year, which is a 81-foot wood track. So I put together some stuff. I'm not going to show it to you today, but one of the things I was working on just this morning for a little bit was how to calculate a banked turn on a wood track. And this is information here that I'm putting together for one of my screens for the presentation over there on February the 10th for the it's called the Go Tech Tuesdays, and everybody that does little projects or different things that they have done over there at the MakerWorks co-op can bring in and do a presentation if they like to. So I've been asked to do that for this track. So this two areas down here, the one on the left and the one on the right, show the CAD that I did, and this is the flat track curve area. Now this track is always 22 inches wide. So when you go to calculate how to do it, this is a 12-degree bank turn. It will be. So you take a 12-degree bank, which is a 32.5 degree or inch radius on the outside to the center point, 35 or 32.5. And then you take the cosine of the 12 degrees, which is the banking amount, which is a 0.978. And then you get a 33.23 inch, which is a 33.23 inch radius on the outside. And then you go back to figure out the inside radius, which is minus your 22 inches of track width, and that gets you the 11.23 inch radius on the inside. And then you still use the same circumference on the outside of the radius as you would for a flat track section, and you still get you cut off for 112.86 inch circumference. And then when you take this track and you built it as a section, this turns into a slight cone. and the half-inch MDF is bent into a cone shape. And when you bend it at the proper amount of degree and hook it up to the rest of the track, it takes shape and everything matches in perfectly. So this was all information provided to me by Steve Ogilvy out of Ontario, Canada. And this is how he used to build his tracks. He built over 400 tracks. So Steve was kind enough to share this information. So I went ahead and wanted to kind of put this out there as just a little bit of a tidbit of information on how wood tracks are formed. And so a lot of wood tracks are just kicked up basically on the edge of the turn, which is not really a true radius or not a true banked turn. But these are actually banked turns, so they're cone shaped. So that's just how you do it. And I just thought I would kind of throw it out there for everyone. And next week, I would like to show a little bit about a new Pioneer Legends super modified pod chassis system that I'm working on. I've been 3D printing it and testing it on my track. So that will be done hopefully next week with some good results, and I'll be able to go ahead and maybe throw some information out about that small project.
All right, that sounds good.
What track is that in the background?
Hold on,
That's his
Delon. You don't
track.
necessarily have to.
That's my
his
track, yeah.
That's
If you can see my I don't think you can see my cursor, but above my head and to over here on the small return, that is the bank turn. The one on the far back side, that's a 20-degree bank, and then it comes off the 20 and into a 12-degree, but the 12 degrees kind of tilted on its side, so it's about a 17-degree entry and about a 5-degree exit. And anyways, those are how I bent and curved all those track sections.
Wow.
Very good.
Okay, I'd like to ask a question, if I could.
Sure.
Not be interrupted. You don't have to bring up the diagram again, but that would be helpful. I wanted to ask, those turns are 180-degree turns, right? The piece of wood is longer because of the cone.
This one was not. This was over 180 degrees. This
Okay.
one was
So hold on.
I think 198 degrees.
Okay. Bring back the diagram then.
Okay. Let me get over here to Zoom and here and share and this and share. Okay.
So let's assume I want exactly 180-degree turn banked, right? Where in your calculus would I put the 180?
Well, it would be drawn, if you can see my cursor moving, the 180 would come right across the center pivot for the outside radius.
Yeah.
And it would come right across over here to this side. So what you would do is you would still have the 32.5-degree outer radius, but you would have a much shorter circumference length. So you would take maybe instead of 112, it might be 95 inches of circumference length. So
Yeah,
you
but
would
how do
take that after you figured out,
Okay.
yeah, your outside. Then you would cut this section off at the 95 inches of outer circumference length, and then when you cone this into shape, it would bend it all in at the 12-degree bank.
Okay. Stop, please. So let's rewind this. I'm gonna build my own track. I have a design. I have a 180-degree turn at one end that I want to have banked 12 degrees, let's say.
Yeah.
I want that to be 180 degrees, banked 12. The entering and exiting straights will be parallel to one another. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? How do I come up with these radiuses these number of degrees that you're just declaring? You're saying, okay, well, it would be like 95 degrees. Like, how do I know that? Right, how do
Okay,
let's say the only thing I know is that I have two parallel straights and I want to connect it with a 180-degree turn that I want to bank 12 degrees, and my total track width is
22 inches.
30, whatever, 22 inches.
yeah, this entire thing was designed in SolidWorks for the entire CAD of the total track size with all of the turns and everything. So I knew exactly where all the sections were at for all the either tangents or well, they were all tangent ends, but whether they were 180 degrees or 198 degrees or whatever they were, it was all designed in CAD. So then I took the CAD and then calculated out these are drawings from the CAD. So I went ahead and calculated out what I needed to have based on the outside information of the lines of the CAD, and then calculated out for the outside circumference by the CAD, and then also just went ahead and did the formula up here using the cosine of 12 degrees or 20 degrees or whatever degree bank you want, and then you end up with this outside increased radius, and then you back it off the 22 degree or whatever width you have of your track. It could be an 8-lane track, so it's probably 40 inches or whatever. And then basically you just go ahead and cut your panels to that size. And if you want more information, you can contact me. I'll help walk you through it again.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like earlier you said that you wouldn't cut a straight across, you wouldn't make a 180-degree turn flat and then bank it. So you've got to know the end result is 180
Correct.
degrees, but where do we find out how many degrees to cut it?
Yeah, that is what the outside circumference is for.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I can figure my outside circumference based on my track width and how far I want apart the two parallel straights and all that. So I know my outer circumference for a completely flat track would be whatever that number is, pi r squared,
Yes.
Pi times diameter divided by 2. That's my outer circumference.
Yep.
Then what?
Then from that you work out on that new radius that you worked that is from the cosine calculation and the banking degrees. You work out from that what the included angle is at that new radius of the circumference that you have, or the section of circumference, and that will give you a smaller number than 180. You'll notice that the radii on the banked section on that right-hand drawing are both bigger than they were on the first one, because what you do then, you have this flat piece that's not quite 180 degrees, and as you pull the edges towards each other in order to get it to 180 degrees, you automatically get a banking on that piece. It starts to cone that piece.
I understand the coning, that whole process.
Okay.
But
so let me say something, Greg, real quick. See down here in this area?
If you can zoom in, I can read it better, but yeah.
Okay, well, it says the angle of this particular curve right here, these two faces, is 194.6 degrees.
Okay.
If you look over at the original one, which is a flat one, it's 198.97 degrees. So it's shortened it up degree-wise a little bit, but that's because your radius is bigger, so your outside circumference is going to be
has to remain the same.
Basically the same. So you have to figure out it's all based on the outside circumference and the track width to get your inside and your overall outside radius.
So you know your circumference from the flat, and then you convert that into the bank one, and it gets longer.
Okay.
Well, the circumference
and then the
stays
radius,
the same, but the
radius,
sorry.
The radius, so the outside line stays the same length.
Correct.
But the change in radius causes it to become a bigger or smaller wedge rather than a 180 degree because of the change in radius, and you're basically forcing the outside to be shorter or longer than 180 because it's the length stays the same, but the
Cut
radius.
yourself a little piece of cardboard. That's 180. That's 5 degrees
It was
less than
confusing to me
180.
too.
I do it with paper, but I'm trying to figure out, see, because we're looking at a bunch of math that I could absolutely put that in my calculator, right?
Yeah.
But I don't see a circumference number anywhere in there. Is 112.86 your circumference?
Yes.
Yes, that's the arc length. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. The equation needs better markings.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's a
Well,
known that you at the
this is
beginning.
a
isn't it?
draft, Greg.
I'm just because I don't build tracks, right? You guys are coming
Oh
at
yeah,
this from people who have
that's why
built
I had to
tracks.
scratch my head to figure it out.
Ogilvy knows this in his head. He could say, "Oh, that's 127." Right? Yeah. He didn't even have to break out a calculator. I'm trying to think if I'm going to build a track, I got to start with something, and I'm not going to be starting with the new outer radius, the new outer.
You're going to be starting with a plan view of everything
of a flat track. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then
I think
you're
I
going to make
understand now.
you're going to make your piece of NDF a little bit bigger with a little bit less angle, so that when you fit it in there, it's going to give you the radii that you want and the banking degrees that you want.
Yeah, I think I understand now, and hopefully people as stupid as me have a better understanding. But we're going to end the live stream because we're already over time. So until next week, everybody, wait, bye.
All right.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.
See you guys. That was a good one.
All right. Yep.
Hey,
I gotta go. I'm off to